Johnson & Johnson's trying to fight talcum powder lawsuits by declaring bankruptcy. It's a common move for corporations nowadays who are trying to escape paying for their crimes, and their conduct is absolutely criminal. It's manslaughter. I have Farron Cousins from the Trial Lawyer magazine to talk about this. Farron, you know, the short list is unbelievable. The opioid case that's going on, they participated in killing 150 people a day. Their product was part of the problem. Their shareholders have sued them time and time again for fraud, for bribery of foreign officials, for phoning up clinicals, making stuff up, just completely changing. It goes on forever. And then, of course, baby powder. Pick it up from there, the other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we talk about these corporate problems, you know, oh, this company did this company did that. Johnson & Johnson has basically done it all, seen it all, perfected it all. And that's what we're looking at here, and especially with these talcum powder lawsuits, where you've got these fibers in there, the asbestos fibers. The company knew this was happening. And instead of doing anything about it, they came up with deceptive marketing practices where they targeted, you know, minority women in poor neighborhoods. You know, that is a huge part of this. But overall, they knew their talcum powders were causing ovarian cancers in women, did nothing about it, and now that they're facing just a couple billion in lawsuits, really. I mean,
it's a $130 billion company that has declared bankruptcy.
Exactly.
That perspective.
And they're making just $500 million a quarter on just the COVID vaccine.
And Congress allows it to happen. And our president, I don't know whether Sleepy Joe just is completely out of the program. His advisors, I'm sure, tell him, I would not trust a Johnson & Johnson anything. I've been to trial with them. I've seen how they phony up clinical data. It's like just part of their culture. If I go into a case, and I've been in 6 cases against this company, major cases, where they have absolutely phonied up clinical data. And our president says, "Oh, this is my choice." Really? I can't even understand. I can't even get my arms around it. It's like he's so disconnected with issues like this.
Right, and we have, you know, plenty of other decent vaccines out there that we could be going with instead of sending 17 million of Johnson & Johnson's over to Africa. But you know what? That's typically what we do here in America. Whenever we have a bad pharmaceutical or one that we're not so sure of, we send it to Africa.
Exactly.
And you've tried cases on that as well.
I tried one. It was called Factor 8 that was killing people by the thousands. It was infected with HIV virus. So after they took it off the market here, they shipped it to Africa. They shipped it to South America. It killed thousands of people. This is just not, look, I told my entire family, do not get Johnson & Johnson. Do not get that vaccine. There are plenty of others. Get a vaccine, but don't get Johnson & Johnson because they have such a nightmare history. And that's just the truth.
Yeah, and their vaccine is the least effective out of all the ones out there anyway. So there's much better alternatives right now, especially as people start with their booster shots. You know, go to Moderna, go to Pfizer.
Oh, for sure. The only person paying attention to this big scam that these corporations are doing, kill a bunch of people. You can have $130 billion like Johnson & Johnson has, and you can declare bankruptcy, and you don't have to pay for all the, it's manslaughter.
Yeah.
They knew it's equivalent of manslaughter. There's no difference. These cats should be locked up, not declaring bankruptcy and trying to avoid their liability. But you know what? It's business as usual in America. Congressman Matt Gaetz isn't out of the woods yet as the investigation into possible sex trafficking took an interesting turn last week. I want to tell you something. I have gotten more people that have called me and emailed me and said, your reporting on the Matt Gaetz issue is the best that they have found across the board. And I'm not just talking about one or two. I've gotten letter, email, phone calls. So you tell this story, okay?
The big bombshell last week, and we got new Matt Gaetz news almost every day in this past week. Biggest one is the DOJ's added 2 prosecutors for the case that are experts in psychological manipulation of trafficking victims. So we don't know for sure, obviously, but what is being speculated by these experts is that they brought these prosecutors in to talk to the witnesses, to talk to the women that were paid by Matt Gaetz and other men, to find out if they use those payments, like Matt Gaetz did for tuition or gas money, as a form of coercion to perform sexual favors on them. And that is a huge, huge thing. And obviously,
okay.
Greenberg got an extension on his.
Right. Okay. So they're looking for intent.
Yeah.
Right. They're looking for specific intent. You can't just say, you got to prove intent.
Yeah.
So you bring in an expert that says, let me tell you what the intent is, at least to get past, that first part where you can get to the jury. You got to get to the jury. So the Department of Justice is looking at what is it that we need to call to question to make a jury fact. And you're saying they're experts that can do this, right?
Right. And Greenberg has already turned over it's thousands of documents, photographs, and videos. And it includes the actual receipts, the things Matt Gaetz and other men paid for through Greenberg. And so because he's continuing to cooperate, sentencing's been pushed to March of next year now because he's giving them gold.
Okay, so in human trafficking, this issue that you're talking about, it's subtle manipulation. It works. It causes some of these young women to be trafficked. They are experts at manipulation. And you're saying at this point, the Department of Justice is going down that road. Their goal, obviously, is to say, Judge, in trial, we've given you enough information. It at least is a jury question, right, on intent.
Right, absolutely. And this is, I forget the technical term, but it's almost like a hero, a savior type relationship that the individual has with the women who are trafficked. They come in, the woman's down on her luck, and he says, don't worry. I'm here to help you.
Yeah.
I'm not taking advantage. I'm paying for your college. I'm paying for movie. I'm going to take you on a wonderful vacation. Right. And the woman then feels compelled, manipulated to do what has been accused.
Farron Cousins, thank you for joining me.